Hello, and good evening, my fellow Americans. It is indeed a Monday, February 28th, 2022. Again, if it's Monday, if it's 8 p.m., it's the Robert Duverny Show. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you for logging in again for a great show. As usual, we at the Robert Duverny Show, this is something we put a lot of emphasis on, that this show comes on to you every Monday at 8 p.m. You know, if it's Monday, if it's 8 p.m., there's no other place to be but at the Robert Duverny Show. I'd like to give my fellow viewers a few seconds to get a good climate, to call a friend, call a family member, pull your popcorn, and let them know that the Robert Duverny Show has just got on, and then they should be logging in right now. This time, I'd like to call all of you to call a friend right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to give you another 30 seconds to call a friend. Let them know that we are on. We are on, right? We are on. So I'm going to give you another about 15 seconds, right? Is about right? Because we have a lot on the agenda to talk tonight, and I want you to call a colleague or friend and let them know about the Robert Duverny Show, that we are on. We are on, right? So I'm waiting for you to actually, it's already 8:02, 20:02 past the hour. And time is of the essence right now. We're going to do our very best to keep that the time frame that we have. I'm looking at the time right now. I'm waiting for a few of you guys to log in, because there are some topic that we touched on last week, and I think it was very important that we keep those in mind and then review them as we did the last time. So let's see. The 15 second is up. It's already up. If you were wondering what time it is, it's Monday. Well, tonight, my fellow Americans, it is the last day of the month. It is, of course, February 28th. As you know, this month we had the Black History Month. This is what we celebrated. We celebrated Black History Month, and then it comes to an end. As you know, all good things must come to an end. This is the end of the Black History Month. Again, this month of February was very busy. I'd like to do some housekeeping work before I delve into anything further. I'd like to take this time to wish a happy birthday to my lovely mother, Mrs. Clotilde Ambrose, of course, the mother of my best friend, Ambrose Odelson. She's celebrating her 18th birthday. Wishing you the very best. May God bless you as you celebrate this wonderful day. I'm sure you're probably watching the Robert Duverny Show. We said kudos to you, and continue the great work that you're doing in the great city of Miami, bringing great kids to this nation and around the world. Thank you. All right, then there's another birthday. Of course, my lovely sister-in-law, Lorette Duverny, who's celebrating, of course, her 16th birthday. Lolo, wishing you a happy birthday. There's so many birthdays on this 28th of February. I figured everybody wants to squeeze in that month of February. They say, I'm not going to be born on the 29th because there's no 29th in February except until every 4 years. So they might fall into March. So they said, let me squeeze into the 28th. So they made it. It's the best month in the calendar. That I can guarantee you for that for sure. The best month ever, the month of February. Well, on a different note, on an international phase, you know, we currently have a war going on right now between the Kremlin, known as Russia, and also Ukraine. And normally we don't delve into international politics because we have so much at stake here in our own backyard. We try not to delve into it, but then again. One cannot take a sit back and not make note of what's going on. I think, well, what's happening right now, this is a concern to the entire world. What you could see is a superpower putting his grip on a little country which was to be part of the Russia, you know, during the Soviet Union. Ukraine was part of the Soviet, and then but Mr. Vladimir Putin would like to regain his whole nation, his whole country, pretty much. and there is tension. But again, what I see in the heart of the Ukrainian is the resilience. I was listening to a piece this morning on my way to the office. A former professor who left his vocation to join the army just to fight the Russian. That speaks volume for someone to leave the livelihood that they so admire but wanted to defend the nation. That in itself speaks volume. I think we need to take heed and of what's going on, because at the end of the day, what matters is that justice prevail, and at the same time, you can see the United States has really conduct marvelous work. Whereas if you could unify the EU, remember that EU, the whole European nation, they really depended on they get the fuel, the gas for heat from Russia, but they're willing to second whatever the United States wants to do. That speaks volume. Well, that tells me that Mr. Biden at the Commander-in-Chief is doing a wonderful job to rally all these nations to impose sanctions against Vladimir Putin. Again, one of you guys may wonder, why doesn't Mr. Biden go into war with Russia? I'm sure most of you may ask, why the United States stretch? No. Well, actually, U.S. would never engage in a war with another superpower of this magnitude. That's the reason why we have NATO. NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If you're not part of NATO, in other words, if Vladimir Putin were to attack a nation that is part of NATO, all these nations who are part of NATO could actually create some type of an alliance and go against them, and that means they have soldiers. But the fact that Ukraine was not part of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and that's exactly what Vladimir Putin wanted to stop. He's preventing Ukraine from joining NATO, and as a result, they cannot lend them military assistance, but they can send them some type of ammunitions and on weapons to defend, because we're all about democracy. Those of you who are praying, I pray that you keep that in mind. Look out for Ukraine and pray for them. And then we believe that we don't see any more people dying, because there's quite a few. Last update I had, there's like 14 children already died. I mean, anytime a child is dead, to me, it's uncalled for, and let alone 14. A lot of people already killed, and as a result of this war. Before I delve into any other topic, I'd like to say kudos to my friend, my colleague here, Mr. Mumtaz Takeden from the great city of Aventura, who logged in. Mumtaz, thank you. You've told me you're a great fan of the Robert Duverny show. I'm glad that I can see you logged in. We'll say good evening to you and good evening to your family, those of you who are watching this show. We applaud you for taking this initiative. Thank you, Mumtaz, for logging in. Again, quite a few of you, Dr. Azor from the great city of Atlanta is on, the great city of Georgia. And from my lovely wife in the great city here, I would like to say kudos to you. You're smart people, Brian and Remy. And those of you who are coming in, send me a little hi, tell me that you're here, and I'll probably give you a little kudos here, okay? Thank you so much. Well, again, my fellow Americans, as you know, last week we went into the Supreme Court nominee, and then we had a wonderful show last week. Very engaged, and I would look for the same show again tonight. We have another 20 minutes together. I'd like to delve into the picks, and then it's up and it's down, it's pro and it's cons, and then but again, I think there's the pro outweigh the con. So I applaud you, those of you who were with me last week. You know that we went into depth as far as what President Biden would do. We mentioned to you that the pick will be made known to the public on Friday. Let me know if that pick was indeed going on Friday, as because you heard it first at the Robert Duverny show. Again, of course, we knew that she would be a minority. Of course, Mr. Biden had made it clear from the get-go. And I guess that's the reason why he won a lot of support of the African-American female during the last election. And of course, if I could quote my dear friend, Dr. Azor from the great state of Georgia, she mentioned that that individual will be extremely qualified, too qualified, indeed. All right, and of course, I'd like to see if my viewers do take notes of the show and of the subject that I delve into. I'd like to give some prize tonight. It's the last day of February, the last day of Black History Month. There may be some goodies. If you guys did watch the speech given by Ms. Brown Jackson, of course, she's a native of Miami, which is just 20 minutes from me, from where I'm at. She's going to be the next justice, along with the other 8. So far, before I delve into it, I'm so excited. I don't want to jumpstart the gun here. But if you could tell me, if you could tell me who I quoted last week. Yeah, those of you who watched the show last week, there was a particular individual that I put emphasis on, and then she was the one who spearhead the women, the black women, into a federal judge. And if you guys could tell me who that was and who, in fact, Ms. Jackson quoted and who she gave credit to, I'd like to hear from you. And then again, if you watch, then again, it's always good to watch the Robert Duverny show. The Robert Duverny show is into depth. There's a lot of research that is given into it, and that reason we'll make it 30 minutes because there's so much to delve into. And then we want to give you something that is has weight, and at the same time, I'm still waiting. I'm looking at the Mobley. That's close. That's very good. Dr. Azor, that's close. And okay. Very good, Dr. Azor. I got to give you some credit here. I guess you probably mean Muttley. Okay, very good, Muttley. Okay, it was of course Constant Baker Muttley. Very good, Dr. Azor. And where did you hear that? Who quoted? I'm not saying you heard of Justice Constant Baker Muttley here at the Robert for the first time. But then again, you would that same week. This is who that we. Okay, thank you. Okay, with that same week, the Robert Duverny show really put emphasis on Constant Baker Muttley, and it is, of course, the person that Ms. Jackson quoted during her acceptance to for the nominee for the justice. So again, at the Robert Duverny show, I've always tell you folks, this is a show that you don't want to miss. I mean, you have a unique opportunity tonight to call a friend, a colleague, let them know that if they have not signed up for the Robert Duverny show, the time is of the essence. They should do it now and now and now. So exactly, this is what we talked about. And so far, what I've seen, great promising, and there is movement in the Senate. Whereas the U.S. Senate is moving quite along. On the GOP side, they seem to be some of them seem to be on board, which is a good start. That's what we want to see. We want to see consensus. This is what we want. We don't want any division. And again, this woman right there is super qualified, too qualified for the job. So again, we hope that it's important that we keep these things in mind, and as we go along. And we wishing you guys all the best, and then stay tuned to the Robert Duverny show because there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake, and there's much more for you to delve into, and I encourage you to continue to watch this show. All right. Now, on another note, let's see here. Thank you, Dr. Azor, for your thumbs up. So that was very insightful of you. Very impressive. Well, thank you. Someone of Dr. Israel caliber to make such a statement, it's worth taking it to heart. Thank you so much. Yes, well, this is what we do at the Robert Duverny Show. We try to engage in conversation that we think is very productive, and that our audience may take great participation. At the end of the day, this is what we do. It's not a matter of when do we do it and how much things are we giving out, but it's the important is the essence of it. All right, it's already 8:16. It's already 8:16. What we can expect is that the U.S. Senate will be moving pretty quickly with this nomination. They would go ahead and grill her. But before I delve into this further, if you heard the acceptance for the nomination for the justice, you could see in Mrs. Brown a woman that is very humble. She spoke a great deal of her family. She spoke a great deal of her family in terms of her parents, who were both teachers, her dad, who was also a school teacher, who decided to go into law school. And then that, to me, is that's the American dream. That's the American way of doing things. That nothing is off the limit. I mean, sky is the limit. This is, to me, impressive, and I applaud her and I applaud her family for bringing her thus far. And then here she is. She's right there to be the next justice, along with the other 8. And I should also point out that she clerked for Justice Breyer. Justice Breyer is the gentleman, is the justice about to retire sometime this summer, and she clerked for him. She's skilled, and there's not gonna be many straight. Just so you know, there's not gonna be. But she's the one who also served as a public defender. This is something that the court did not have. Someone who has the pedigree of the justice system in terms of the public the defender. This is one who actually worked in the field of public service to have a different view. I think this is what makes justices very unique. The fact that you have folks from all different walks of life, all background, and when the dust is settled, I'm sure every American, every U.S. senators will sit back and say, well, we probably did not like the connotation of a black woman, because I think that's an issue, really. But when you look at the way she argued her case, the way she her thought processes, you wonder, this is someone that we miss. This is someone that will be relevant to the court, because we all don't have to be on the same side. I mean, that's the beauty of America. When great people talk, great things happen, and oftentimes we don't have to be on the same party. We don't have to have the same set of beliefs. I mean, think about it. If everything was blue, what would happen? You wouldn't get to appreciate other things. But then again, you can see the beauty of blue, gray, and so on and so forth. And that diversity is always good, and that's what's good. We have Clarence Thomas, second African American to be on the court. As you know, Mr. Thurgood Marshall was the first African American to be nominated to justice to the Supreme Court, and eventually it was confirmed by the Senate, and he served there. And Justice Clarence Thomas happened to be the second one. And now we have a female, a black female African American woman to serve in that position. I think this is historical. This is something that our young people, young women, I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, this is something you should admire. This is something you should embrace. That tells you anything is possible if you live in America. This is only the nation on earth where you can set your mind, you can set goals as high as the sky. And if you jump high enough, if you work hard, you can make it. This is what we want to tell our young people. To all disclosure, she made that disclosure that she has a member of her family who happened to be her uncle, who had a drug deal She made it clear to the public, so there's not no skeleton in her closet. You don't have to be shocked. Wow, wait a minute, she's not qualified. She has an uncle who dealt with drugs. I mean, your uncle dealt drugs. You didn't deal drugs. It's your uncle. So, and then she made it clear. I mean, if you pick your friends, but you cannot pick your family. Is that right, my people? Give me a thumbs up right there. A wise man once said that you can pick your friends, but you cannot pick your family. How's that? So again, that should be there's no news right now. She made it known to the whole world, and then let's attack her on her credentials, on her way of she sees the justice system, how she voted, and how she ruled when it comes to criminal justices. This is what we want. That's what we want in America: diversity, and of course, an open mind to issues that really at stake, issues that really matters to all of us, and not just a few, but all of us. And that I think that's where we all come together and hope for the best. Okay. All right. If you guys have any questions, please send your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. But I know we're already at 8:22. I'd like to delve into the State of the Union. All right. State of the Union, ladies and gentlemen, is right on the corner. Mr. Biden will be addressing the nation in a time that is very thank you, Sister EPL. All right. Thank you so much for logging in. All right. So we can always say that there's a lot in store. Mr. Biden will definitely address the nation on the State of the Union. This is something that we all look forward to. I believe there's a lot that to be said, and the direction of the nation, where we're going. But I think this State of the Union will be touch a lot on the war that's actually going on with Ukraine, and of course the position of America. I don't think any Americans would with decency would want us to go into war, and then we're not going to war. There's no panic. We're not going to war, and there may be some who may try to throw some red meat in there, saying that there's no America is not going to war with Russia. Okay, we were in war with Afghanistan for the last 20 years, pretty much. Yeah, 2 decades or score. So we have no more appetite for war, and we're not going to war. But then again, the way that we're dealing with the war right now is that the way you can best cripple Kremlin, of course, Mr. Putin, and is to attack him financially. They're cutting a lot of credit line that he had, and not him personally, but the entire nation. So now you don't want to see a bunch of Russians hungry and they cannot get those things done. You know what, they're going to turn around back to him. So I think it's a good approach on the world stage. Britain, France, Germany, Poland, a lot of these nations, they come together. They create a consensus, and they don't think war is the right thing to do right now, and they believe that by crippling Vladimir Putin and his allies, and that will definitely send a strong message. So we just have to stay and see what's the next move. Okay, I think I have a question that just pump up right now. Like Biden on that, he has been part of some major history, VP of the first black president, responsible for the first black female VP, and now putting the first black female in the Supreme Court. All right, well said, Dr. Izzo. Yes, Mr. Biden has really been around for over 50 years, in both as an attorney, as a state representative, and as a senator, as a VP, and now as a vice president. And Mr. Biden did not have a great relationship with the minorities during his early days in office as a senator, but I think he comes to his senses. He's paying back to the minorities by bringing them to the fold. And I'm sure there's people who still hold a grudge against him, but again, that's life. That's life. I think we all should give someone a chance to redeem themselves. that I think it just like criminal justice system, someone who have been incarcerated for 10, 15 years, if they paid their times, I think they ought to get a second chance in society. And then I'm not saying give them a blank slate, but I believe if you allow them to reinsert themselves, and then just like Mr. Biden, we have allowed Mr. Biden to reinsert himself. He was a VP for the first African American president, and then and smart that he is, in order to win the black female votes, he picked a black female to be his VP. I think, which was very smart. And then Mr. Biden is making headways, and he's a seasoned politician. I mean, that's the reason why he's doing so well on the world stage. I mean, no one is laughing at America right now because they know who they're dealing with. This is a guy who, when this guy was in the Senate, I wasn't even born yet when this guy was serving. So you think about it. So he knows not just a thing or two, but this guy is actually a true leader when it comes to negotiation. He knows Vladimir Putin well. He dealt with him in the past. He again. After all, he's a seasoned politician. He's not coming in there with a blindfold. He knows his adversary. He knows how to make calls and who to contact and which button to push and at what time. As you can see, he's standing in the backstage. He's not giving too much, but at the same time, as a commander in chief, every now and then, the public wants to hear from you, and that's exactly what he's doing. When it's time for him to come forward, he does, and when it's time for him to cut it off, he does. And at times, Mr. Biden's work can be colorful. It can be very colorful in his choice of words, but I guess he's a human being after all. I guess we all are, is that right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have any flaws. Again, stay tuned for more. All right. Thank you. So, all right. Sister Darius is online tonight. Congratulations, Sister Darius, for logging in. All right, happy month of February. Again, my fellow Americans, what I'd like to say to you this evening is that we have a unique opportunity to stay tuned. I want you to watch the Senate debate, which will be conducted very soon, with regards to the credential of Mrs. Brown Jackson, who will be, of course, the Senate going to grill her. I can see the likes of Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz and I have a field day, and I'm sure Mrs. Brown Jackson will be readily available should he has any questions. And then hopefully they don't waste time with this, because let's not go into those petty little things that irrelevant. Let's see how her views on public justice and on view of Supreme Court, and her views on past laws that were enacted, Roe versus Wade, and let's see her beliefs on election reforms. These are things that are going to come up to the Supreme Court right now, although we have quite a few cases, Roe versus Wade in Tennessee, which the Supreme Court will be taking a look at this very soon. So these are the things that we want to bring forth, and then let's educate the American people. I think every time we get a chance to be behind a pulpit or even a platform as Facebook, YouTube, and I think it's a unique opportunity to educate the American people to the best of your ability. Not time to waste their time and with nonsense. And this is what I pray for. This is what I look forward to in the next process as they're about to go ahead with Mrs. Jackson. I think this is what that we look for. We did a good, let's say, a good grilling, pretty much, because when you sit before the panel, which is the judiciary panel. And this is what they do. Everybody who sits on that panel will have a unique opportunity to question the future justice on her merit, in that case, Mrs. Jackson, and also her views on certain laws that already been enacted, or law that the Supreme Court is looking to be enacted. So this is the things that we look for, but not any petty things. All right. So that's what we pray for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is already 8:30. Our time has come, and we thank each and every one of you who have chosen to log in this evening to watch the Robert Duverny Show. You know, the Robert Duverny Show comes on every Monday at 8 p.m. Again, we look forward to seeing you sometime. I'm going to take a time off next week. The next week will be the 7th, so I will definitely see you on the 14th. 14th of March, which will be, I'm going to give you a break, and I will definitely see you guys on the 14th. I know some breaks are coming in, and those of you who have kids, it'll be the best time to be with your kid. And I think my daughter will be out of school next week, so I'll take her out for a week. So I would not be in town. So I look forward to seeing you on the 14th when I do return. And until next time, my fellow Americans, stay tuned to the news and watch the upcoming nomination hearing on the part of the U.S. Senate, and then you get to learn a lot of the new justice, and let's pray for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful questioning. Until next time, my fellow Americans, you know, if it's Monday, if it's 8 p.m., it is the Robert Duverny Show. Have a lovely evening. Thank you, and happy Black History Month, which has come to an end. All good things must come to an end. This is the end of the Black History Month. Those of you again who are celebrating your birthday again today, wishing you the very best on this magnificent day. Thank you, my fellow Americans. Good night.